apologize if I offend any politicians out there. Second of all, public speaking is not my forte, so please bear with me. I'll do the best that I can. First, I would like to thank you for the opportunity to speak here tonight with everybody. I have a tremendous amount of respect for each and every one of you that's served in law enforcement. Kind of a neat story is our youngest son was actually a recipient of the scholarship that you guys funded in 2014. And so he started out in high school, went through YB Tech, and then went on to YBC and got his criminal law justice, and now is working for YPD. He's been there, just got off his FTO about 5 months ago, and he is doing amazing there. He really enjoys it, so he's living his dream even as we speak tonight, so that's great. Law enforcement's not new to my family. My father was a Lincoln County deputy sheriff, served there for quite a while, then also went on to be a chief of police for a little town called Davenport, Washington, north of here. And he did that for some time before his passing. Let's see. So lots of people ask me, why do you want to be a coroner? And the question you get, and so first of all, I've always had an interest in this. I've always been taught it's kind of the last thing that you can do for somebody. And also, but there's other reasons. As a paramedic for some time in Yakima County, I've been on numerous scenes, pretty horrific scenes, but where the outcome after the investigation did not meet what I actually saw on scene, or my perception coming from the medical background. I'm not saying that the investigation was done incorrectly, or I'm not criticizing the investigation at all. I'm just saying that I believe that there's a medical component that could be on scene that would definitely benefit the investigation and help come up with a well-rounded conclusion. The next question is asked is, what are my qualifications? Well, I served 28 years, still serving in Yakima County pre-hospital medicine. 16 of those years as a paramedic, with 11 of those years as a paramedic operations supervisor, which were in charge of up to 8 to 10 ambulances, crews, countywide at any given time, depending on the workload. I am very knowledgeable of pharmacology, very knowledgeable with anatomy and physiology, kinematics, which is how the body reacts to high-speed impact, whether it be penetrating or blunt. Medical legal. So looking forward, or going forward in the coroner's office, I would like to implement a program where we'll bring paramedics on and on call for basis, can assist with going out and doing investigations after some training that can be made available through the state. Let's see, of course I have a blank. I am, once again, very honored to, another thing I'd like to do is PSAs, public service announcements, will be commonplace for me, dealing with the challenges that are met, suicide. I'm a big proponent for first responder, like the Code Green or Code 4 program. I don't know if anyone's familiar with those. Those are great organizations that do great things for lots of people. Public service announcements concerning the local opioid crisis, which now we work rotations of 24 on, 24 off, series of 3, and I bet I run on probably 3 to 4 opioid-related overdoses rotation, and that's not counting the meth and the stimulant abuse that's going on in the county as well. I will say that vote for me. I will, as a coroner, the coroner's office will be transparent. Communication will be utmost priority. professionalism, proven professionalism. I've worked as supervisor for 11 years, and we are constantly taken to task. And I've come out on top, and actually with very good accommodations for my decision-making process. With that being said, I would like the opportunity to answer questions that anybody has. And yes, please.
What is the code green that you were talking about?
Code green. It's a first responder suicide prevention. It started out in Spokane. The gentleman's name was Kevin Green, who actually took his life, but he was a paramedic. Served as a paramedic for a couple of years in Spokane County, and then after that from that, his friends, and then it kind of just snowballed statewide now. And so it's pretty well known within the EMS community. And so they do some great things to bring awareness to it. And the code for it is started on the west side. Met with the guys over there, they're great. They make every accommodation, and they really want to and maybe they are, and I don't know about it, but I know that when I talked to them at that time, they really wanted to step into the eastern Washington, Yakima, Spokane, and further east into the Tri-Cities. They do some great things. An honor to be in front of each and every one of you. I appreciate everyone's service. I appreciate Mr. Hawkins' service as first of all, as law enforcement, and also as a coroner. I do appreciate that. And I want to thank you for the wonderful dinner, and thank you for all your hospitality that you guys have extended to us. And I can definitely see why you would want to be a member here. It's amazing. And thank you for, yes sir.
I have one question. Is Mr. Hawkins the current coroner?
He is the current coroner.
And you're running against him?
I am.
What are your plans to do differently than what he's been doing since he's been in office or in service?
So one, I believe that I will bring a medical component to the scene that is currently not there. I've spoke with lots of active law enforcement, and they've made that aware that they would like to have on scene. Lots of times after we'll get called to a scene, after, for whatever the scenario is, the circumstances are, law enforcement will follow me out. We're putting our units back together and stuff, and they'll ask me what are my perceptions, what do I feel about it. And there's been numerous times where, because let's face it, not everyone dies from penetrating or blunt force trauma. There's also lots of medical reasons. Medical death and dying is a medical issue. It's very much of a component to that. So there are different things that in the presentation I did that kind of gives you an idea. The background, medications that they're taking, their medical history is a huge thing. As working as a paramedic, I'm getting all this information, because that's going to dictate how I'm going to treat the patient. And so there's really no difference other than if they've expired. You still want to find out their information, their past medical history, medications when they take it. Are they taking their medication? There's certain tests for different medications to see what different levels that they have to make sure that all is appropriate.
Where did you receive your medical training?
I went to Columbia Basin College and graduated there in 2002. Before that, I went to YBC. It's when YBC was still doing the EMT program, and that was in 1991. And so I did that work as a volunteer fireman for Comanche Fire, and as well as Bleed Fire, and then also for care ambulance. I don't know if anyone remembers care ambulance. Medic one, they would cross paths going to each side of the town or each side of the city, going to the EMS. Crazy. But yeah, we worked with them, and then AMR came in, bought them out, and I've been working for AMR since 1998.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for having us here. Thanks for having me here tonight. My name's Jack Hawkins. I am the Yakima County Coroner. I think it's important that we know what the coroner's duties and responsibilities are. His duties and responsibilities. He is the chief death investigator in Yakima County. His duties are to conduct an independent death investigation of all deaths in Yakima County. He is a member of the Law and Justice Division of Yakima County, along with the Sheriff's Department, the prosecutor, and the courts. When I respond to a scene, The bodies cannot be moved until I get there. I start my investigation, and I determine we're dealing with an accident, a homicide, a suicide, drug-related, could be a child death, motor vehicle accident, might be a natural death. It's something that I work forward to, with the ultimate goal in mind, obviously, is to determine the cause and manner of death, which is the utmost importance for everybody involved. This is why the coroner must have extensive training and experience in criminal investigation, homicide investigation, crime scene investigation. I have 25 years of law enforcement experience with the Sheriff's Department and the Yakima Police Department. I have over 11 years of experience in investigation with the coroner's office. 9 as the coroner, 2 as the chief deputy coroner. I'm recognized in the Yakima County Superior Court as an expert witness in death investigation. The coroner's office consists of 2 phases. The medical, which is the autopsies, which we hire forensic pathologists to do the autopsy at the direction of the coroner. The coroner is there to gather, record evidence, and to make sure that evidence is handled in a proper manner so it can be evidence in court. The coroner must possess those investigative skills to do that. I have worked with law enforcement for over 35 years. I have 35 years of experience so that I can conduct those investigations for your lost loved ones. I have worked with law enforcement and created very good working relationships up and down the valley with all law enforcement, police, Sheriff's Department, Washington State Patrol, the FBI, the Yakima Indian Nation, with prosecutors, courts, judges, forensic pathologists, evidence technicians, funeral homes, but most of all, most important, I create a very good working relationship with the deceased family so that I can guide them through this horrible loss that they've just gone through, keep them informed of what the investigation is going, what road we're going to take, what it will entail, and what will happen with their loved ones. I'm responsible for investigating over 6,500 death investigations in Yakima County. Among them, over 2,000 investigations include homicide, accidents, suicide, drug-related, any kind of I've been on all of them. Motor vehicle collisions, and by handling so many of these cases, I have extensive experience in working with grieving families. I am responsible for the design and the inception of the new county morgue, the state-of-the-art morgue. Before, we were housed in a kitchen in an old Pizza Hut. Had absolutely no airborne or bloodborne pathogen protection at all. Barely had a sink to wash your hands in. We've designed that, and we are using that, and it is state-of-the-art, one of the best in the state. I'm responsible for the computerization of our record bureau, and for the new program that we have where we are with the unclaimed cremated remains, getting them back to their family members so that they can be with their family members and have the proper burial or wherever the family decides to do. With my experience and my training, I'm able to continue, I'll be able to continue my service to the citizens of Yakima County with expert and with compassion and with the full knowledge of the power of my position and the importance of my position to be the last voice for your lost loved ones. Talk about some of the problems that we have faced in the coroner's office over the last few years. Toxicology, which is the examination analysis of blood, urine, vitreous. Getting this analysis back from the state, as when I first started here, we do it in 4 weeks. It's now 4 to 6 months. And investigations cannot be completed, a lot of them, until we get that information. That means the family doesn't get closure, the insurance companies don't pay off, your estates aren't settled. So we set off to do a couple things. First of all, to work with the state crime lab to get more money from the legislature so that they can hire more people and maybe open up some satellite programs. But obviously that takes some time. So what I've done, I've gone out and I've contracted with the lab to do this analysis for us. Obviously, when you do that, you gotta pay for it. So I had to adjust my budget, and adjusting the county budget is pretty tough because there's not a whole lot of money. But we've managed that, and now I'm able to get my results back in 2 weeks, which has helped the prosecutor's office, it helps law enforcement, it helps the families, and to go forward with our investigation. One of the other problems that we have in the county is a drug epidemic. I'm in the process of working with King County Medical Examiner, Dr. Harif. I'm going to be trained, we're going to be on a grant, we're going to be issued an instrument that we can test live on scene the drugs that are found there without ever handling them. So if we're running across fentanyl, obviously we do not want to handle fentanyl, because fentanyl can get right through your skin and it can kill you. So this kind of power will be open to all law enforcement, and we'll have drug recognition immediately. It will help us with what drugs are out on the street, what people are taking. I am the coroner of Yakima County, and I'm running for re-election. If you have any questions, fire away. Good? Huh?
The two past coroners we had, what kind of law enforcement experience do they have?
Leonard Birkenbein was the undersheriff. He probably had 50 years of law enforcement experience. Leonard Birkenbein hired me when I joined the Sheriff's Department back in 1973. Maurice Rice, he retired from the Sheriff's Department after about 30 years. It's a law enforcement position. You have to be an investigator. That is the number one thing. Everything we do starts with an investigation. Yes, sir.
I have a question. The previous speaker had spoke about his medical background and experience. What was your training, and how have you used that to apply to your investigations?
Well, my medical background, obviously when I was in law enforcement, I became an EMT, a lot of first aid, that sort of thing. But my medical background too is in, you mentioned medical legal, but it's actually medico-legal. And what it is, that's the study of wounds. And I've done that since I've been the coroner through our state training programs. The study of different wounds, what caused that wound, talk about a gunshot wound. Is it a contact wound? Is it an entrance wound? Is it an exit wound? Knives, blunt force trauma. And I've attended, over 700 autopsies. I have a lot of experience dealing with wounds, dealing with injuries, and I know what I'm looking at. And the medical part of it, unfortunately here I have a forensic pathologist that I can pick up the phone and call night or day. And he is available to us, and an autopsy has to be conducted by forensic pathologists. I've seen so many of them, I could probably go in and do it, but I don't think the families would like that. But I've been to enough of them, I know how to do it, and I know what we're looking at. I know when we delve into the body, what we're looking at, and what we're looking at, what we're trying to find, the angles of gunshot wounds. There's just an array of things that, yeah, I have the experience to do that.
So I know on the one side, because I slept with one for a long time, there's continuing ed that they do a lot. Is there continuing ed that coroners go through to
Absolutely.
Stay on
Yeah, we attend many seminars. Yearly we'll go to at least 2 of them, and and obviously we have Doc Reynolds, and every time he does an autopsy, he teaches, and that's very good because that's how we learn.
Your opponent, he would be somebody new and bringing in change, so to speak, or his idea of what needs to be improved, or go along on your path. How do you gauge if you're getting stale, what you need to do? How do you stay vibrant in that job after you've been in that for so long?
I don't have time to get
Dead bodies,
stale.
all of that.
I don't have time to get stale, and every case is different. just as soon as I think I've seen it all, there's something else. Every case is different. It's interesting. I enjoy it. I enjoy the investigation part of it. I work with all the law officers, sheriff's office, police department. Yeah, it's a matter of keeping up. And like I said, every autopsy we do is a learning experience. As you know, there's never two cases that are alike.
Thank you. Feel overwhelmed?
Do I feel overwhelmed? Not at all. My wife does. But I don't, no. We just go one day at a time, and we take them as they come. We called out, you know, well, it's last weekend, we had like 8 cases. We had 4 motor vehicle fatalities, we had 2 suicides, we had 3 drug overdoses, and they all came to us.
No problem keeping it.
And it was me and my partner, we handled them. Plus, you know, a campaign. Now that's what's overwhelming. You bet. Okay.